Previously on TVSins.
I'm just a guy.
Standing in front of a boy.
I feel the sun on my face.
Well, great. Get out the CW checklist, because you can check starts with god-awful sappy narration off the list. I swear if an attractive 20-something doesn't needlessly take off their clothes in this at some point, I'll eat my hat. Actually, I don't wear hats, so I'll eat your hat. The point is, this is so predictable that I'm in no danger of munching on that millenary meal.
It's been 97 years since a nuclear apocalypse killed everyone on Earth.
Is this a TV show or an elevator pitch? Why would you tell me this instead of showing me?
12 nations had operational space stations at the time of the bombs. There is now only the Ark, one station forged from the many.
The coincidental existence of all these inhabitable space stations prior to Earth's nuclear destruction is coincidental. Also, do you think when Noah named his boat, he realized he'd be impacting dystopian fiction for years to come? Can't we come up with something better than the Ark? Also, how did this work? Assuming all these space stations were spread out, where did the vessels come from that took the engineers to each station? And how did they tow all the space debris back to the Ark? What are the chances there would be enough people qualified to perform these tasks left alive after the nuclear fallout? And where the did everyone stay while all these other space stations were being taken apart since Earth was not habitable?
We're told the Earth needs another 100 years to become survivable again.
So 197 years total? According to scientists, Hiroshima was able to be occupied within weeks. I know that Chernobyl series has us all worked up, but nuclear plant explosions and atomic bombs are very different radiation processes.
This is reality.
I've started to think the reality of the CW is that it has a mandate for its shows to go no longer than a minute without showing some form of cleavage.
Juvenile offenders get put here. Lockup. We call it the skybox.
Jesus, when you have one place for everyone that is still alive to live, there is no way you would have or hopefully need a jail taking up this much space. Unless, of course, everyone that survived is a Philadelphia sports fan, and if so, then carry on.
Clark, you are not being executed. You're being sent to the ground.
This seems like something those angry guards could have told her, if for no other reason than to make their job a little easier. Also, if her mom was this close, why didn't they just wait for her to deliver the news?
Earth, Clark. You get to go to Earth.
Seems like they could come up with a catchier name for it, like maybe After Earth. Wait. The 100, smacking you in the face every Sunday.
Welcome back. Look.
Wells, why the hell are you here?
Because there's not enough mystery surrounding why in the they would send kids to see if Earth was a safe habitat or why all these kids were prisoners on the Ark. They decided to tease us with some why does Clark not like Wells intrigue.
When I found out they were sending prisoners to the ground, I got myself arrested. I came for you.
And we couldn't have a show called The 99. That just doesn't make sense.
That was the atmosphere.
Prisoners of the Ark, hear me now. You've been given a second chance.
This whole thing feels like one of those amusement park rides where you're strapped in and then some obviously pre-recorded thing comes on a monitor to ride's position your experience, as if it's happening only to you, now complete with mediocre acting. How is obvious bad boy love interest guy doing a zero-G ballet when this ship was literally just shown to be re-entering the atmosphere? Not only would Earth's gravity be in effect, but the G-forces as the ship went from orbit speed to landing speed in just a few minutes would be extremely hot.
Not now. Total system failure. That's what we're looking at.
Seeing these two actors together just made me realize that I want to see a Battlestar Galactica Lost crossover show instead of this.
Everything that we programmed in to help them is gone.
The crew is baffled. They've nicknamed it the Advance the Plot scenario.
That's the girl that hid under the floor.
CW ad-libbing is the f***ing best. Also, just realizing it was really nice of the adults on the Ark to let the kids do their makeup and hair before being knocked out and forced on this suicide mission.
What the hell are you wearing? A guard's uniform?
I borrowed it to get on the dropship. Someone's got to keep an eye on you.
Considering the title of the show and Abigail feeling the need to mention that there was 100 of them to Clark before she received the sedative, I'm guessing that number is important. But in less than 10 minutes, we learned that Wells was a last-minute addition and Bellamy is essentially a stowaway, so the leaders of the Ark really lucked into this convenient number.
That's Octavia Blake, the girl they found hidden in the floor.
Thank you, Random Red Shirt, for the very specific and clearly stated exposition. This was actually Neil Armstrong's second choice of what to say when stepping on the moon. Also, the CW has manufactured a plot that results in attractive young adults being the sole inhabitants of a new world. To be honest, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. How long before the skinny dipping scene? While we wouldn't dare play Radioactive here, I will say that the awful on-the-nose Imagine Dragons song is awful and on the nose.
See, look, this is us.
If it's revealed that these two and the cocky guy are triplets from Pittsburgh, I'll not only give every sin back, I'll do the Mandy Moore pregnant seductive birthday dance.
Hands off of him, he's with us.
Within seconds of landing, they've already got ganks. It's like Lord of the Flies, but with none of the intensity or compelling storylines that come when you actually have character development.
We need to find Mount Weather. You heard my father's message. That has to be our first priority.
Screw your father.
Regardless of feelings here, doesn't finding a place where there's food and shelter make the most sense?
Do you think we care who's in charge?
Exactly. because the answer is always Charles.
We're looking at a 20-mile trek, okay? So if we want to get there before dark, we need to leave now.
Before dark? How about the same day? The average person can walk 3 miles in an hour, which, if this was ideal conditions, it would take them almost 7 hours. But these aren't ideal conditions, and they have no food or water.
Hey, spacewalker, rescue me next.
This is totally going to be Temptation Paradise Hotel Island meets Lost, isn't it? Damn it, CW, why must you torment me?
I did something, okay? Something that they will kill me for when they come down. I can't say what it is just yet, but...
Character has done something that the audience can't know about yet, so they tell somebody they have a secret, but can't tell them what that secret is, even though in real life they would either tell them everything or keep it to themselves, cliché.
We'll be back tomorrow with food.
How the two of you gonna carry enough food for 100?
Wells would be great at TVSins.
Before you get any ideas, Finn's mine.
Before you get any ideas, I don't care.
Note from the CW studio execs, if you don't establish a love triangle in the first 15 minutes of the show, what are we even doing here?
As Chancellor pro tempore, you can give the order to start reducing the population.
Oh good, we're adding some of that wonderful political intrigue that made the prequels such runaway successes.
If we're gonna kill hundreds of innocent people, we're gonna do it by the book. Is that clear?
And that book is the Da Vinci Code.
Seems we have a traitor in our midst, Commander. And the 100 have an assassin in theirs.
Since 2 already died, shouldn't Desmond here be calling them the 98 now? Or maybe the 99, since someone snuck on? My point is, I want a running tally or I'm out. They couldn't find someone who could spell die correctly to write the message, or maybe they're gonna actually tie-dye Wells, which, not gonna lie, kinda wanna see.
Take them off. The Ark will think you're dead.
Why is that, though? Are you telling me these fancy medical bracelets that measure everything from blood sugar to body temperature can't tell the difference between being taken off and the process of dying? The body temperature alone should give it away. Just leaving this here is confirmation that CW pilots are as predictable as the sunrise, and I indeed will not be eating any hats. Anyone who thinks she's dead because of this manufactured someone's in peril right before a commercial break cliché hasn't been paying attention to the fact that she's already in a love triangle. You can't kill off a side of the triangle until another love triangle has been established. It's like CW writing 101.
No, wait. If we distracted him, I let her go.
What? That thing dragged her around violently for 30 seconds, and that's the extent of the damage?
Note to self. Next time, save the girl.
Or don't make lewd comments like that after the girl was almost eaten by a radioactive sea serpent.
You think this is a game?
Considering the lack of food, you could call it a Hunger Game.
10 more. One after the next.
A room full of scientists and engineers, and not one of them thinks that the kids could be removing the wristbands?
Look at plasma osmolarity. It's going up across the board.
They found water.
No, you've got that backwards. An increase in plasma whatever he said, would actually mean dehydration. But honestly, this sin is mostly for making me research that shit. Is this implying that she got put in the same cell as her daughter? Because first, why? And second, holy shit, is that a vagina? It's also very convenient that her daughter just happens to complete this beautiful drawing on the exact day she was sent back to Earth.
Call that a sip?
Sip shaming.
You have to see this.
You better come take a look at this cliche.
You read anything about glow-in-the-dark forests or man-eating snakes?
No, but just like the writers of the show, I did see a couple movies called Avatar and Anaconda.
Aren't you tired of always doing what's expected of you?
Question I asked, the CW, after watching each and every one of their shows, somehow makes it into the script.
Jackson, use the wristband. There may be a way to reverse engineer them for communication. Talk to Sinclair and engineering.
Wait, what? First, how is that possible? Second, why did you wait until now to say it? And third, isn't this where the Ninja Turtles show up and save the day? Man, this show is setting itself up as unpredictable at least early on by killing off one of the main characters in the first episode. Surely there won't be a Thelonious Ex Machina.
Stop!
Damn it!
Knew there was a badass in there somewhere.
Because risking being eaten by a giant snake to save Octavia wasn't enough of a clue.
We're not alone.
Jesus, this show has more cliffhangers than a Rennie Harlan movie.
Do not go in there. Woo!
You fool! Now we may never know if ants can be trained to sort tiny screws in space.
To unfasten your seatbelt, just push down on the red button on your right. Be sure to gather all your carry-on items from the underseat compartment and exit to your left.
Maybe it's because there are none. Maybe we've already been exposed to enough radiation to kill us. Sure is pretty, though.
If you'll come with me, you'll float too.
We have to warn them.
Find him! Save Martha!
Andy Dufresne, who crawled through a river of and came out clean on the other side.
What are they?
Seeds of the sacred tree. Very pure spirits.
Open the door.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.